Okay, hello. Welcome to the Solo SoulsCast this week. I'm your host, Shane Norton. You might remember me from such podcasts as the SoulsCast, but we're on a bit of a hiatus, if you eagle-eared listeners may have noticed. Life has been very hectic for the both of us, Adam more so than me. The last couple months, we both got new jobs and with new schedules and new working arrangements, and that's kind of messed things up a little bit. We will be coming back, the two of us, in more traditional SoulsCast fashion, at least before the Old Hunters Bloodborne DLC gets released. We'll be talking about that. We'll both be buying it, playing it, yada. So, in the interim, I decided I'm not done talking about Souls yet. It's been a long time. Episode 14 was a solid month ago. I want to say it was the beginning of October. And it's now November 5th when I'm recording this, Thursday night, November 5th. And that's just too long. So I decided I'm gonna do something about that. So I thought maybe I'll record my own solo SoulsCast, just me. Make them a little smaller, not an hour long, maybe 20-30 minutes, just to satiate our ravenous league of fans that just won't stop hounding me about the new SoulsCast. And by the way, that's a joke. I apologize for clearing my throat. I seem to need to do it every 2 seconds, but so I decided I'm going to do it solo. And this isn't a permanent thing, but I'd like to do a weekly one, at least in between normal SoulsCast episodes that Adam and I do together. So I decided I'm just going to do it. If it sucks, then I'll stop doing it. I don't know if anyone wants to listen to just one person talking to essentially himself for 20 or 30 minutes about something. I'm sure there are many podcasts that only have one host. If there isn't, then I'm blazing a trail. I'm known as kind of a trailblazer, so, any pauses of complete silence are me taking a drink. I am drinking very cheap gin and Sprite tonight, so if things get a little wacky, that's going to be the reason why. But I want to keep this kind of the same way that Adam and I do the regular SoulsCast. I wrote up a really brief document file, and I'm going to kind of go through it. And again, I'll try to keep it sort of like traditional SoulsCast. It's going to be a little different because it's just me. It's not going to be two people exchanging ideas, exchanging opinions, having opinions and ideas changed and formed depending on what the other person said. You know the deal. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Oh, also, actually, one final note. I don't know exactly where I'm going to be releasing this yet. If I deem it good enough to be released, I'm not sure. I think Adam can still host it on bluegamer.net, which is his video game blog, which you guys should certainly check out. I believe he just posted a good review of Halo 5, so you should probably check that out. And I will, if nothing else, post this on my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, you can search Shane Norton, ShaneNorton. I've been uploading boss battle videos. Anyone that's a fan of the SoulsCast knows that I like boss battles a lot. They're my favorite part of video games, basically. So I started recording them from Bloodborne because I have a PS4, and PS4 makes it very easy to record and upload videos. I don't have any fancy recording software to record other things yet. I do plan on getting that, actually. So right now it's PS4. I started with Bloodborne. I did all the bosses in Bloodborne. And then I went to, I think I played Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. And that game had some bosses, so I uploaded all those. And then I got Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, which I've been playing, and I'm still playing, actually. And I've uploaded my boss battles from that. And recently played through and beat God of War 3 Remastered on PS4, and I uploaded videos from that. So I'm uploading boss battle videos on my YouTube channel. Again, I searched Shane Norton. I didn't make it any great name because when I created my YouTube channel, like my YouTube account, like 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't create it with the intention of making videos. I just named it any stupid thing. But if you search for me, there's actually many Shane Nortons on YouTube, but just search for look for the one that has the profile picture is a Sam Adams beer, and that's me. I have close to 100 videos on there, so that's where I'm going to probably release this. Again, Adam could put it on Blue Gamer. If I still had my blog up, I'd put it on there, but I'll just pimp the hell out of it on Instagram, all that kind of garbage. Speaking of Instagram, if you want to follow me there, I'm Kalameet, Kalameet. That's anyone listening to this should know. Boss from Dark Souls, the Dark Souls DLC. Probably my favorite boss from that DLC. Twitter, I'm Kalameet, K-A-1-A-M-E-E-T, because the L, Kalameet spelled with an L, was taken, and I'm pretty sure that account hasn't been updated since like 2012. And I guess that's it. And then obviously YouTube. So let's jump right in now that I'm 7 minutes into this already. Yikes. So, I want to say one more thing actually. This is tough when I don't have someone steering the ship for me. Adam and I like to talk about the games we've been playing recently, and I like to keep doing that because I like to get perspective on Souls fans, what else they play. I feel like the Souls games are such there's such a big presence in gaming, at least in my gaming life especially, that sometimes I just forget that other games exist, which sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of true. So if I know there's like huge Souls fans out there, and I know there's bigger Souls fans than I am out there, I like to know what else they play, to just get a kind of read of what kind of gamer they are. I know if they like Souls, they have to be a pretty cool gamer. So I think that's kind of why we like to do what we've been playing. I am still playing Dark Souls 2. Like I said, uploading the videos. I went through the first 2 DLCs, the Sunken King DLC and the Iron King DLC, whatever the hell it's called. I went through and beat those, and I'm on the final one, the Burnt Ivory King DLC. I beat Ava, the King's Pet, and now I'm just recruiting those stupid Lois Knights so I can fight the Burnt Ivory King and then put that away. And then all I need to do is beat Nishandra and I think the Scholar, who comes up after her, and then I'm done with the game. And I probably won't, once that happens, I probably won't play Dark Souls 2 again for quite a long time, because I've put a lot of hours into it in the last, 18 months. So besides that, I haven't touched Lords of the Fallen in quite a long time. Anyone that's been listening to the SoulsCast, probably close to 2 months ago, Lords of the Fallen, which is a very Souls-like kind of game and was definitely inspired by Souls, was on sale for I think $18 on the PlayStation Network. So I bought it and downloaded it, played it for a couple weeks. I haven't touched it since. I am going to go back and keep playing it. I'm hoping soon, maybe when I finish Dark Souls. It was just too much to play Dark Souls 2 and Lords of the Fallen because they're so similar, yet they're so different that certain controls work differently in Lords of the Fallen, and the rolling works differently, and I was just getting very frustrated. So I will pick it back up. Since then, with a GameStop gift card, I think I bought Child of Light for the PS4, which is a game that I played through probably a quarter over on the PS3 and absolutely loved it. So I'm going to play that, and I will upload the boss battles to that as well. I recently purchased God of War 3 Remastered for PS4. It was on sale on Amazon for $20, so I bought that, and I played through it, and it took me like less than 2 weeks, probably 10-11 days to play through and beat it. I uploaded almost all the videos to that. I still have a couple boss battles left to go. And I actually just got 2 PS4 games in the last 2 days. My birthday was like a week ago, and I got some gift cards. So I bought Far Cry 4 for PS4 2 days ago, on Tuesday, I believe. And I've only played 40 minutes of it, but it seems awesome. And with a different gift card, I ordered from Amazon Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS4, which just arrived today, and I'll be playing it probably as soon as I finish this podcast. I had it on PS3, My wife and I played through it. We absolutely loved it. I sold it to a guy at work that I used to work with like a year ago, and I've been wanting it to play it again ever since. So I have it for PS4. I know they made some changes. There's the first person. They added new like collectibles to find, maybe new missions. I know there's like more animals in it. It looks I'm very, very, very excited. My wife and I are going to start playing that again pretty soon tonight. And I think that's it. I've really been focusing on PS4. My Super Nintendo and Nintendo both have been dead. They don't work for whatever reason. So I've really just been focusing on PS4, and that's probably what I'm going to do for at least the rest of the year. I have some big video game goals in 2016 that maybe when we get closer to that, I'll explain those more. But that's what I've been playing. Dark Souls 2 here and there. I just beat God of War. I just started Far Cry 4, and I'm going to start Grand Theft Auto 5 tonight. So lots of new gen. I love my retro, but I love PS4 as well. I love everything, really. Not Nintendo 64. I think that sucks hugely.
And Dreamcast.
I never played Dreamcast. That was my wife. I'm not sure if she got picked up on the microphone, but she hates the Dreamcast. I never played it. I actually think it looks like a pretty decent system. It looks like it has a lot of good games for it. So that's a podcast for another day when she and I start our video game podcast together, which is going to happen any day now, I'm sure. Okay, now that I'm 12 minutes in, maybe I'll actually start talking about Souls. And actually, I'm not talking about Souls so much as I'm talking about Bloodborne today. I was browsing Facebook, as I am known to do from time to time, and something from I think the official PlayStation blog came up, and it was about Bloodborne, so I clicked on it, because why the hell wouldn't I? Bloodborne stuff doesn't come up very often on Facebook. They're releasing a patch ahead of the Old Hunters DLC, which comes out November 24th, which I will be buying that day and playing that day and night, and I'm hoping that Adam and I will have a regular SoulsCast before that, and then maybe after it, or at least one that centers heavily on the Old Hunters DLC. But ahead of that, they're releasing a patch, and I don't think they have a specific date. I'm looking at the official PlayStation blog, and they don't have a date, but it just says ahead of. So that's what I'm going to go with. So I assume in the next week or two, since Old Hunters comes out in 3 weeks anyway, is going to contain this patch for Bloodborne, something called The League, which is, and this is a quote from the website, so what I'm reading next is a quote. The League is a band of hunters who have taken an oath and are bound by a single purpose. By aligning yourself to the League, led by a mysterious figure in a constable's garb and bucket helmet, you can assist other players online in the game and compete in the League's online rankings leaderboard. End quote. So that's the first thing it says. It also says with an item called the League Cane, you can summon co-op NPCs for help to get through, the hard areas, hard bosses. And there isn't a lot of NPC help in this game, so that's interesting. I'll get back to that in a minute. They also released a few screenshots from the DLC, and they were highlighting a new weapon called the Holy Moonlight Sword. Looks awesome. Again, I'll get to it in a sec. Finally, at the bottom of the article, or the bottom of the announcement, they said that for any players that have a platinum trophy in Bloodborne, they're going to be sending, in the very near future, they're going to be sending a voucher code for an exclusive PS4 theme. So that's pretty neat. And that's everything they released in this short thing. Wherever this gets released, I'll have a link to it. But you can just search Bloodborne patch on Google, you'll see it. So I'm going to run down each of those points pretty quickly here, since I'm already halfway through the amount of time I wanted to use on this. Because I know Adam and I sometimes we usually went over an hour, and I don't think people need to hear my voice for more than an hour straight. Especially with all my ums and uhs and starting and stopping and drinking my gin drink and all this other crap. So the League. That sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like some sort of a Covenant kind of thing, which Bloodborne has maybe 2 of, I think. Covenants I always thought were a good idea in the Souls games that weren't fully utilized correctly. Maybe they'll fix that for Dark Souls 3, but it's some sort of Covenant kind of thing where, from what I read, and this is the only thing they've released from it, it's some sort of hunting. You hunt other hunters, so maybe you get summoned into other hunters' worlds to just kill them, and maybe you get an item from that, like the Company of Champions in Dark Souls 2. You get those items for killing people, and that's like to prove your rank. So maybe it's something like that. It says there's an online rankings leaderboard, so maybe it's something where you can invade someone who's not a member of this league, kill them, then you get an item to prove that you killed them, and then someone with the most items has is ranked on the leaderboard accordingly. That sounds like a pretty interesting idea. I like it. I think I like it. It's not something I'm probably going to do too much of because in general, PvP is really just not my thing. I'm bad at it, and I don't want to make excuses, but the lag usually is not in my favor, that's for sure. And I don't know, I don't enjoy it. I really enjoy just playing the game. PvE, as it were, player versus environment. That's what I like doing. I like the challenge that comes from that. So, if that makes me lame, whatever. What are you going to do? It still sounds interesting, and I'll mess around with it a little bit. Why the hell not, right? Something that's even more interesting that I actually probably will not use at all is this League Cane that allows you to summon co-op NPCs. Starting with Demon Souls, you could, if you were playing offline and you still wanted help with a boss, like a really hard boss, if you were in your human form, you could summon NPCs. Pretty standard. It works exactly the same as summoning a real player, but if you're playing offline, or even online, you can summon them to help you. And Bloodborne, I know there's this a little bit. I know you can summon Gascoigne to help you fight maybe the Cleric Beast or something, and you can summon a few other people. I've never done it. I don't even know how you do it. I haven't looked into it, but this sounds like it's going to make it easier to summon co-op NPCs, so if you're playing offline, you can still have help with some tough bosses. So that's a nice little feature. I'm not sure why they didn't have this when they originally released the game, but it's not a huge deal. It's not like amazing, but it's nice. I like it. Again, not something I'm going to use because I've played through the main game. I got the Platinum Trophy, so I played through the main game like 2.5 times. My wife and I started a character that we played through once. I don't really need help on the bosses. Not to toot my own horn or anything, I actually really suck, but next thing I want to talk about is this. They released 2 screenshots from the DLC, and they're highlighting this weapon called the Holy Moonlight Sword. And I know From has, starting I think with Kingsfield, that was probably their first game, they've had these Moonlight Swords in like all the games. There's a Moonlight Sword in Dark Souls. I think it's the one you get from cutting off Seath's tail, but I'm just totally going off the top of my head. I'm not doing all the research like I usually do because, I didn't really feel like it. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I believe there's one in Dark Souls 2, and there's one in Demon Souls, some variation of a Moonlight Sword. And they always usually look pretty similar to each other. They're big, maybe great swords. They're maybe like a broadsword, and they glow and they have certain properties. These 2 screenshots make it look pretty similar to a Moonlight Sword that I've seen in at least the Souls games. So I'm assuming it's not at all a coincidence that it's called the Holy Moonlight Sword and it glows like a greenish kind of color. It looks really cool, and I'm pretty interested to see how it's going to work. I'm really interested to see what the trick weapon aspect of it is, because just from these screenshots it looks just like a sword. So what are they going to do with that? I don't know, but I'm pretty excited. I swear I read somewhere that they're going to introduce 12 new weapons, which is almost the entire amount of weapons that are in the main game. And if that's the case, that is really something. That would be awesome, and I will absolutely hunt down all 12 of those weapons so I can try them, because as I know Adam and I have talked about, and everyone online has talked about, if there's one problem with Bloodborne, the amount of weapons, I think, sucks. There's 15, including the guns, there's 15 or something like that. And in all the Souls games, even Demon Souls, there's 100 plus, and a lot of them are the same. But even so, I was a little irked at the variety that that Bloodborne gives you. So if this DLC is going to really have 12 new weapons, I think that's amazing. So that, I'm very, very excited about that. And this Holy Moonlight Sword looks really cool. And finally, sorry about that. Finally, for this little Bloodborne patch announcement, I'm going to read just straight from this website again, because that's just the easiest. This little paragraph they write. As a special treat for all you hardcore Bloodborne players who have already earned your Platinum Trophy or are close to unlocking it, in the very near future we will be sending out voucher codes for an exclusive PS4 theme to Platinum Trophy holders. There's no other way to get your hands on this theme other than to master the game. So I'm really excited about this, and maybe that's kind of silly because it's just a PlayStation theme, but I have the Platinum Trophy in the game. I know Adam does as well, so I guess he'll be getting it as well. I'm really excited about it. If I can get a cool Bloodborne theme for my PlayStation 4, I think that's great. And I will be awaiting my voucher code. Sony, you hear that? Send me my voucher code, please. And thank you, because I got a Platinum in your game. I got Platinum trophies in all 4 of your Souls games. So maybe send me 4 of them. That would be nice. I think that's all I have for this Bloodborne patch announcement. They really don't give you a whole lot of information. I read 2 big quotes straight from the article, and that was about almost 50% of the article. I guess I can say they also show a picture of this mysterious leader of the League, and he definitely has a helmet that looks like a bucket. I'll say that. And he's holding a cane, which is probably the League cane. I mean, he looks pretty cool, a little bit ominous, definitely mysterious. I'm pretty excited to see what this is about. I wish they gave a more concrete date of when it's coming out, but the Platinum theme says very near future, and this says upcoming patch, and it's coming out before the Old Hunters expansion. So I gotta imagine like next week, maybe the week after, it's coming out. So I'll try to stay on this and figure out when it's gonna come out. But pretty excited about all of it. I think it's a great announcement. I mean, it's a patch, so it's gonna be free anyway. I believe the Old Hunters DLC is gonna be $15. And I will be 10 or 15, I don't remember. Whatever it is, I'm buying it day one, and I'm playing it day one. And I'm very, very excited about it, because I really haven't played Bloodborne since probably like May or June, and I'm starting to get the itch to jump back into that world. So a nice expansion, I am all on board. Hopefully we'll get to talk about that a little more in the coming weeks. Now, that's not quite it for my Solo SoulsCast episode 1, because we're only at 24 minutes. So let's stretch this out a little bit longer. I think I said it. Actually, I don't remember if I said it or I just wrote it in my notes, but Adam and I, on the regular SoulsCast, we haven't had a lot of time to talk about Demon Souls. He was in the process of playing through it, and last time I checked up on it, he was probably halfway through it, and he had never played it before. He kind of went backwards. It was his last Souls game to play. I know he's also hitting a bit of Souls fatigue, which I'm starting to feel with Dark Souls 2. I just really want to get it over with so I can focus on something else. Because I feel like I've been playing Dark Souls 2 forever. And I haven't wanted to talk about Demon Souls too much, so I didn't ruin anything for him and all that. I want to talk about it a little bit here. And it's not going to be much, but it reminds me of this time of year. It reminds me of Halloween. I know Halloween has passed, so this is not as timely as it could be. I really should have recorded this like a week ago. I got Demon Souls for my birthday with a gift card, I think, back in 2010. The game was released in 2009, so I got it about a year after it came out. I knew about it in 2009, and I really wanted to buy it. I was very excited for it, but I just never had the money. So 2010, I was able to get it. And I got it around my birthday, which is in October, so I played through a large majority of it in like October, November, the fall time. And every time October rolls around, I get this urge to play Demon Souls again, because nothing reminds me more of Halloween and fall and the chilly weather than Demon Souls. No other game, no Halloween game, no horror game, nothing as far as video games reminds me of Halloween like Demon Souls does. My PS3 has been broken for the last several months, so I haven't been able to play it. And actually before that, I lent my copy of Demon Souls to a friend, and I never got it back. So I just recently reacquired it for Christmas. My wife got it for me for Christmas. and never got to play it, and then my PS3 died. I will be getting a new PS3 in the next couple months, so I'll be playing it again. But it gives me a great, just nostalgic feeling when it's this time of year, like just thinking this is Demon Souls time to play. And Demon Souls is the game that got me into the Souls series, so it holds a very special place in my heart. It's not my favorite Souls game. I think it's a very, very good game. But as we've discussed a million times, my favorite Souls game changes on basically a daily basis. But right now it's Dark Souls. When we first started this, maybe like episode 1 or 2 of the SoulsCast, I had said Dark Souls 2 was my favorite, and I'm a vehement defender of Dark Souls 2. I know it gets a lot of shit, a lot of flack, and people just, that's like the cool thing. People love to hate on Dark Souls 2. I think Dark Souls 2 is an absolutely fabulous game. But it's not my favorite. I'm pretty sure Dark Souls is. Demon Souls is an amazing game as well. And it started the whole series. It had amazing atmosphere. The Tower of Latria, very claustrophobic, very dark, very scary. And then you have the Shrine of Storms, which is really open, but it's that gray overcast sky and just those manta ray things there to kill you at every corner. And that had all those precarious ledges and outcroppings of the mountainous area. So all that was great. The Valley of Defilement, which was just a disgusting, gross area, which they've put into basically every Souls game since. Some iteration of it, whether it be the Blight Town or the Gutter. It's a game that really spoke to me, and it reminds me of this time of year, and I really like that. That's really not hard-hitting Demon Souls information. I could go on a little bit more about it, but I just wanted to say that. I think if anyone hasn't played Demon Souls, you should probably get to it. I know it's been on sale on the PlayStation Network before for like $10. You can probably find it for 10 or 20 used. It's worth way more than that anyway, so trying to find it, buying it, playing it would be a great help to your overall life, really. Your life will be enriched from this fabulous game. So I think that's all I had to say on Demon Souls. Basically just makes me feel all good in the month of October and November. And I'm dying that I can't play it because I really want to. That and Dark Souls I've been wanting to play very, very much. But the old yellow light of death is stopping that. So I see I'm at about 20, almost 30 minutes. And that's kind of where I wanted this to be. I didn't want it to be a whole hour, but I didn't want it to be too short. I think 30 minutes is a pretty good length of a podcast hosted by one person where he just talks nonstop for 30 minutes, basically. I'm going to have to listen to this again and make sure it's not too rambly, make sure the audio is good. I'm recording this on Audacity, which is the same program that Adam and I use to record, and ever since we started it on episode 5 or 6, I think that the audio quality has been amazing. I think this should sound pretty good. I did a couple tests before I started, and I thought it sounded fine. So I'm going to, once I finish this, tonight or tomorrow, listen to it, see if I can figure out a way to edit it, because I'm not the editor of our partnership, but I can probably figure it out, or my wife can help me. And this is Thursday night. I'd like to have this up by Friday or Saturday at the latest. I work Saturday, so that might be a bit difficult, but we'll figure it out. I needed to get some new SoulsCast content out there, because I miss it. I miss talking about it. I miss interacting with people with it. Hopefully we haven't lost too many fans with our one episode released in the last 2 months, but I know they're still out there. And I'm going to promote this on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on Twitter. I guess those are the only social media I use. But we'll figure it out. And, shoot, I wanted to say something else. I'm not sure if I remember what that is. Let me sit here for another minute in silence while you just let this previous 31 minutes and 39 seconds wash over you. And I'd like to say thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. This actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I've been very nervous to start this, like to hit the record button on my Audacity file, because I was just thinking, how do I start this? Adam starts them, and then he talks, and I go off of him, and we just kind of go off of each other. And I thought, this is going to be really hard with one person. But then I realized I'm really good at talking to myself. And I talk to myself nonstop. 24/7 basically. And this is everything I've said into this microphone that's going to hopefully be released to the general public is something that I have said to myself at some point, muttering under my breath, what have you. So this is it's very cathartic, and also this gin is helping too. So I'm gonna end this in another minute or so. Maybe this will be cut out because this is kind of getting a little silly now. Thank you for listening. I don't know what's going on with the regular SoulsCast, but I'm going to record probably another episode next week, depending on how this goes. So we'll have kind of 2 series going, SoulsCast, Solo SoulsCast, and we'll go from there. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you all in some form or another next week. Bye-bye.